Why am I a health muse? Because I want to inspire all of you to clean up and live a healthier life. And as part of that, I want to be Wonder Woman. So I'm going to put these on and become her. Why do I want to be Wonder Woman? Because Wonder Woman has the same two nemesis that I talk about. She's fighting Dr. Poison and the Duke of Deception. And that's who I'm going to talk to you about today, because they're lurking in your life. They were lurking in mine far more than I had any idea. And so to understand why I'm so passionate about this, I'm going to go back a little bit and tell you my story, and then I'm going to tell you why this is important to you. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 25 years. I've had my own jewelry business, and 7 years ago, I woke up and everything in my body hurt. Every bone, every muscle, everything. So what did I do? I went to the doctor. She ran a lot of tests. I went back. She ran a lot more. I went back again. She ran a lot more. Finally, she called me and said, I'm going to give you steroids, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with you, and I suggest you seek therapy. I said, okay, I got news for you. I hurt. So something is wrong with me. So I was lucky. I had a staff. I turned my business over to them, and I started to research. And I tripped into what's called the functional medical community, and they were running all kinds of symposiums, and I listened to 19 of them in a row. One was on the brain, one was on the adrenals, one was on the liver, one was on the gut, one was on the lower gut, one was on skin. I listened to them all. It's all about something called leaky gut. Has anybody heard of leaky gut? Well, I started thinking maybe I had leaky gut, and maybe I had autoimmune disease. So what could I do about these things on my own? There were two things I figured out I could do. I could eliminate toxins from my life, and I could lower my stress. So I started with stress. Always knew I had stress. Made me get more done for my job. So I was perpetually being chased by a tiger, which ended up not being a very good thing, because being chased by a tiger 24/7 meant I had no cortisol left in my body at all and was on the point of going into Addison's disease. So I was chronically fatigued all the time. So I got some exercises. I do them faithfully to this day, and that reduced my stress. But then I dug into toxins, and I was appalled. Absolutely everything I was using in my life was loaded with toxins. My expensive French cosmetics were a 9 on a 10-point scale. Food, I had no idea. I didn't really understand GMOs and why it was so important to eat organic. And you start to study it. GMOs, they're actually putting Bt toxin into the plant. That's so that when the bug eats it, it blows up its stomach, but it's also blowing up your gut bacteria. There were toxins in my meat. There were toxins in my canned goods. Lord knows there are toxins in our processed food and our fast food. They're loaded with synthetic ingredients, which means that when you eat them, you're getting no nutrition at all. And then I started on the rest of my life, on the cosmetics, on the over-the-counter drugs. I was allergic to aspirin, so I took Tylenol all my life. Guess where I was weak? I was weak in my liver. But if you're taking the other ones, you're taking the aspirin, the Advil, or the ibuprofen, or the Aleve, you're ruining your gut. I got into what I was cooking my food on and what I was storing it in. I got into my water coming out of my tap. You think Flint, Michigan is unusual? Think again. There are pharmaceuticals, there's arsenic, there is all the herbicides and pesticides that are being sprayed all over our food. They're all in our water because they're going down into our groundwater and then off into our streams and our rivers and coming out of our tap. And then I got into cleaning supplies. Oh my God, they're loaded with toxic chemicals that are going right through our skin, right into our lungs, and poisoning us. So I systematically started to remove them one at a time until literally I had removed hundreds. And while I was doing that, I found a functional doctor of my own. The difference is they do root cause medicine, where they look at the whole body. And so between what I was doing, eliminating the toxins, and what she was doing, which were totally different tests than my conventional doctor, I tease her that I'm an onion, and we keep peeling the onion and finding different things wrong with my body underneath. But between the two of us, 5 years, and I was functioning better than I was in my 50s. So I do have autoimmune disease. I will always have autoimmune disease, but I no longer have pain. And I decided everybody needed to know this. So at 67, I went back to school, I became a health coach, and I wrote my book, which is the manual I wish I had had when I got sick. And it's called It Feels Good to Feel Good, because when you lose your health, you really enjoy the fact that you're feeling good again. Learn to eliminate toxins, reduce inflammation, and feel great again. And in the last year, I have spoken on 80 podcasts as a guest because I want to get this message out to everybody. So that's fine. That's my story. What does this mean? these on. business, and 7 years ago, I woke up and everything in my body hurt. Every bone, every muscle, everything.